All right, folks, Trump's mineral deal is actually the best security tripwire Ukraine could ever hope for. And that's the subject of the riff. Vladimir Zelensky doesn't seem to understand that Donald Trump's offer on the mineral and mining deal with Ukraine is, in fact, a giant step toward Ukraine's security. I call it the tripwire effect. Think of it this way. American companies would come into Ukraine and open up drilling, excavation, and mining operations for rare earth minerals or precious metals or oil and gas and so forth. And they'll be coming in to build infrastructure in various geographic locations around the country. Now, American firms will therefore be putting their boots on the ground. These are not U.S. military boots on the ground. They would be private sector U.S. corporate boots on the ground. And they will bring with them, by the way, large-scale security. Now, digging for minerals and mining is no small operation. Very big deal. It's conceivable thousands of Americans would be moving in to do all manner of jobs, be they front office administration or on the ground. Think of it as oil patch roughnecks like in the Permian Basin, something right out of the hit TV show Landman. Now, I call it a tripwire because if the Russians were to start rolling in tanks or start bombing these American operations, then all global hell would break out because Russia would then be attacking Americans. And I don't think they want that kind of escalation. I don't think Putin wants anything near the idea of attacking and killing Americans. It's a bit like President Eisenhower after World War II, relocating American families and businesses to Europe alongside our post-war military bases. The old Soviet communists may have talked big, but they didn't really want to start bombing Americans, be they civilians or military. That American population in post-war Europe was a Cold War tripwire. Now, according to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Zelensky has failed to sign the minerals deal now 3 times. Once in Kiev, where he was very cheeky and rude in meetings, once in Munich, and again last Friday, of course, in Washington, D.C. It's possible Zelensky is just a run-of-the-mill hothead with no manners and no respect for the Oval Office in the U.S. White House or respect for President Trump. When Zelensky blew up on Friday, this hostility to America was blatantly on display. But Mr. Trump is offering him an incredible way out. Yes, the U.S. can recoup some of its Ukraine war expenses. But longer term, Ukraine's entire economy would be reopened, and its assets would be monetized in ways that will be of incalculable benefit for every person living in their country. It's like Trump is offering Zelensky a future, but he won't take it. He keeps on prattling on against ceasefires without security guarantees, when in fact, Mr. Trump is offering him the best possible security guarantee. But Mr. Trump and his top advisors very worried about something that's almost inconceivable, that Zelensky doesn't really want a peace deal, and that the brutal fighting with hundreds of thousands or even millions killed and wounded will go on for years. And that really will bring us closer to World War III. That's the subject of the riff.